it's, you know, this is full, but I recommend my product, my $2,000 product.
Okay, so first we want to hear from Will, and for all of you saying that works for products where you make money, we'll have Will talk about that. Justin?
Got a good point of clarity? Because when we did it, we took a deposit before the call. Do you do that or no?
It depends. If you want more leads, there's no deposit. If you want more people to get into the funnel, if there are too many people, then you do a deposit. It will kill the number of people signing up, but the quality of them will be higher.
But based on what you just said, now there was no
deposit. No.
Just right. Okay. The way you did
Let's not get deep into questions. We'll do questions, but let's get through.
Do you want me to talk about, so just in terms of
share your experience?
Yeah, so last year we were here doing like little breakouts in the masterminds, and I was trying to come up with a high ticket event, and I couldn't figure out what to charge because I'm in the tennis industry, for those of you who don't know. The most I'd ever charged for my instruction was $500. So talking to Andrei, he's beating me over the head saying you need to charge $10,000 for this event, and I'm just like, I mean, I teach fucking tennis. So I was going to pay 10 G's for this. But I just sucked it up and did it. And,
what was the event?
Huh?
What was the event?
It was a good event. I mean, I had like celebrities there. And I did.
Tell a little bit.
Well, I'll
help you the story you share right now.
Yeah, I'm just sort of getting top level. I sucked it up. I did the Sparta thing, and over last summer I did $100,000. Got 10 people to come to these events for 10 grand, 20 times what I ever charged before. So it was insane.
Okay, so
but it'll work for The point you're trying to get at is you don't have to sell coaching. You can sell like crochet or something and charge $10,000.
And so tell them, just tell them about a little bit about the experience of going through this and what you offered and who bought it and who flew in. And
yeah, I think the thing that was really important for us, like I listened to Andrei in terms of his questionnaire. What really sealed it for us was the email copy. And they're basically, at the same time, I think Dan Sullivan's No BS Guide to Affluent was kind of popular in our group. And in that book, he says that rich people pay for three things. They pay for exclusivity, they pay for convenience, and they pay for experience. So your copy needs to hit those three things. And basically what I did was I just said, the intro of my email was like, after, I finally gave in, I finally caved to all the arm twisting, and I put together this amazing clinic. But it's actually not a clinic. So like clinic in tennis could be like a $20 thing. So I had to reframe it's not a clinic, it's actually a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And what's going to happen is you're going to fly into Washington, D.C., and I'm going to pick you up, and or you're going to get picked up in a car, and you're going to come to the hotel, and da-da-da-da-da. I walk them through the entire experience, tell it like a story. And the reason you're doing that is because you want, and it's better to do it in text, way better in email than video, because you want the person playing out the event in their minds. You want them to see themselves going through this awesome experience, and the way Sebastian's going to visualize that experience might be slightly different from Erico, but you're kind of leveraging the person's imagination there. And then there's a couple other things that in there like price anchor, kind of the standard stuff. But then you say if you're interested, click this link and come apply. So the whole email is basically targeting that 1%. It's designed specifically for them. You're trying to weed out the other people who aren't going to be good candidates. But really the key for us was make sure they are walking them through the event. You referenced Harry Potter earlier. Like when you read Harry Potter, you're visualizing Harry fighting Voldemort and da-da-da-da-da. That's what you're trying to tap into.
And what's the price point? How many you sell?
10 grand, sold 10.
Okay, and Tom?
Huh? Oh yeah, the one fucker flew. He's a great guy, but he flew. So Andrei was like, "Yeah, man, you gotta have like a 25K level."
He said, "I'm sold out." I said, "Well, send a follow-up email saying, now I have the VIP of VIP. Only 2 people can apply, and it's $25,000 each."
Yeah, I wussed out on that. Didn't do that. And then one of the guys that came to the event flew on his private jet to get there. It cost more to get to the event than it actually did for him to pay for it. Then after the event, he spent an extra day in New York shopping for Rolexes and came back and had like 4 of them. He had bought like 4 Rolexes. I mean, he's a great dude, but it was just sort of like, oh my gosh, can I just charge you more money now? Like I should have done the 25K level, and at least have a Rolex that you bought. So.
And didn't someone bring a spouse or something like that?
Oh yeah, there's there's like couples would do it.
So they're paying 10 grand each.
They're paying 10 grand each. Yeah. They're paying 10 grand each. One of them made so one of them was the event was with Bob and Mike Bryan, who Double Team worked with, and the wife had made this like amazing kind of like engraved thing for both Bob and Mike. Kind of it was a map of where their spouse, Bob and Mike's wives, were born, and then where they were born, and kind of had this like it's hard to describe, but it was basically this line between them, kind of their connection, but it was like this gift that they had gone out of their way to make. So I mean, the people that come to these things are like super like pumped and excited and just so intense. It kind of goes back to like, man, there's no way I would have thought somebody would pay $500 for this, but some people are just insane, for whatever you guys put on.
Yeah, cool, thank you.
Wow.
And we're gonna hold on questions. Let's go, so who's next between you guys? Okay, Sebastian, could you share some of yours?
When I came back from that meeting where Andrei taught Sparta, I was like, I have to do it because I was...
You're in DC?
Yeah, I was in DC with Will. I'm like, dude, you should do 25, you should do 25. He's like, let's see what it does at 10. And I'm like, okay, so I gotta do 25 so that I can tell Will. See,
You see how masterminds work?
So I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And so I added an extra step before because I had no clue what I was going to offer as my Sparta offer. So I did a technique I called the man with the silver hair, which is a video where I just say, hey, I met this guy, so the man with the silver hair originally was you.
So, it's brown.
I have one.
And this time it was Andrei, but so I said, hey, I met this guy and he had this great idea that I should do a workshop because I haven't done an event in a year. And I want to reconnect with you guys. So what is the thing you'd like to work with me personally on? And I posted that on the blog. No, I didn't do a survey because I know I will get less comments than survey answers, but better quality people give the comments. And I went through it the next day. I found out there were 30 answers, but 8 big topics. So I just said, okay, I sent the email just like Andrei did, and I said, so I looked at what you needed, and it's been a great journey for me to go from scratch to where I am now, and I really think that you need 8 things to get there. And, and I said, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this event. It's going to be a 2-part event, 3 days, and then 6 months later we do 2 days. And there's going to be 8 modules. And then I described each module, which was just like whatever people asked for. And I said it's going to be pricey, but if you're motivated, just go here and give me your vote and apply. So I said, I got that from Bob Slinger. Give me your vote, which is the application process, the survey. They went through the survey, and I did it first to my customer list and then to the prospect list. And I got 170 people total fill out the survey. And one of the questions was, here's the price, it's going to be 25,000 euros plus taxes. Do you have the money? And I had about 60 people check that box. Out of the 60 people that said they had the money, when I looked at the answers, I selected 40 that I would do phone calls with. Every single person I had on the call actually wanted to buy, but some people I didn't want them in the offer. Like, you talk with somebody and they would say, yeah, I get this money because I sold my company and I didn't declare all of the money to the government, so I have extra money. And I'm like, what's going to happen with my payment if you're on a payment plan, right? So I said, yeah. And I used Andrei's technique. If you have somebody on the call that, after the first question and a half, they are not a match, and you just say, okay, so thank you, I just wanted that clarification, and we will get back to you and tell you, so that you don't have to spend the entire 20 minutes or 30 minutes with them. If on the first question you know that they're crazy bananas. So it's great. And so I learned from that experience because at the beginning I did 2 mistakes. First mistake, not taking the payment up front on the call, like saying, okay, you're in, we'll send you the details. Most of those people didn't actually convert because it was tough to get back to them. Second mistake is mentioning the payment plan. I found out that if you don't mention the payment plan, most of the people that have the money will not take it. They will just pay up front. And if you say, oh, it's 5 times 5,000 or 1 time 25, and everybody is taking the payment plan. So yeah, that was a great experience. And then I did the event. I had 9 people there because the 11 others that I didn't take the card in the call. 9 people there, upsold the mastermind, and upsold 11 sales. So I'm like, this is good conversion rate. So it paid for the next 10 years of plat. So
I like that thinking. I like that thinking. And then Erica.
Yeah, there I was sitting in Berlin. I was doing a trip. I was sitting in Berlin, and then the tennis guy does this. Then Sebastian. By the way, I have Susan's mic.
Number 2. She's got number 2 mic.
And then I was sitting there, and then I was carrying the thought of actually charging 20. At the first Sparta I did twice, $20,000 for a weekend with me with 4 people, right? So actually 5 people the first one, and the second one I did it again the same thing for 4 people, 25, and was upfront. So if the payment plans were out of, and then I said, but I was there, and I know nobody would believe, and I think I actually told my mastermind that I would try to do that. It would be a challenge. I think I needed to tell someone before. That's what I do, right? And anyway, boom, send 1 email. And the one thing, the one twist that I do differently, maybe you do that or not, is that I ask everyone to do the application on SurveyMonkey with 1 email. And what I did is I sent to my clients list because I thought my clients will buy it. My prospects, less probable, but my clients will buy it. Client list first, then they surveyed, and there was a lot of people surveying. Then I waited 1 day and then 2 days. And so Monday I sent, on Wednesday I sent it again, the same copy. But I sent you the whole list, including the clients. So on Wednesday there were clients calling saying, why didn't you call me? It was whatever, I just didn't read the application. So I was ignoring them for 2 days. And then when the result was 647 interviews, the first, and more or less the 7. And then what I did is actually I used the results to pick up the people that I actually wanted to have. So like this person that resonated and stuff like that. And then I did call them again to make sure they were not weirdos or something like that. And call them and ask the same questions. And the call was, hey, I know you interviewed this, but I would like to make the same questions personally so that, you know, and you can ask me questions as well. So I called the first one 7 people, and I closed 5. And the second one was I called 6 people, and I closed 4 because there was, and the guy really wanted to tattoo Andrei's name in his arm. Yeah, after my event, it was like, why? No blood in his head, that he sent that email and he was, what can I give to Andrei? Well, Erico, what does Andrei say? I don't know, ask him. So I want you to tattoo his name in the breast. Don't do that. Give him champagne or whatever, but don't tattoo his name.
He keeps emailing me saying he's a local celebrity now because he went and gave on the stage, gave the presentation how he just made it. And he was working as a freelancer, as a techie freelancer for a local startup group. Now he is they made him offer. He's a partner in this investment company that picks and startups and invests in them. It's like that.
Thank you all. Hold on,
I just want to add one more thing that will hit you after you go through this process. That this offer, the Sparta offer, will attract the best of the best clients. They want something different. They want something that you would never give them because you don't know them. And you spend a lot of time with them on the phone, interviewing them, plus 3 or 4 or 5 days face-to-face in a closed environment. You live with them, you get into the mindset, and then you ask them, what if I come up with this product? Would it be interesting? Let's do something together. Let's do the amount of opportunity after that is just staggering.
That's what Dan Sullivan calls that the strategic byproducts. When you get those kind of people in the room, it's like, holy cow. I mean, it's like, even if you look at like our Platt and this Plus group, I mean, the strategic, Erico is the PLF licensee in Brazil. He just did his third launch for PLF Brazil and did $2.6 million. And that is a strategic byproduct of bringing your best possible clients into your life. I had no idea that would happen back in 2010 when Erico applied for Platinum. It was crazy. So questions. I know we've got some questions. Jose.
This question is for Sebastian.
I'll keep my hair like that.
No, you're on.
You mentioned not to say the payment plans. Do you mean not to offer that option at all? Or not to mention that in the email, but maybe give that option for the end of the interview if you feel they can do that?
I'm not mentioning the price in the email at all. I think Erico maybe did it, mentioning the price in the mail.
On the interview, I asked him a special question. I mean, that is from you or you, right?
I anchored the price in the copy.
But in the interview, you say the price of this is $20,000. Do you have the money to pay? Yes or no? Because they say no, I don't call them, right?
Yeah.
I think I got that from.
Yeah, I put it in the filter.
So I'm not talking about the price in the email. We state the price on the survey so that it's a yes or no question. Like, here's the price. Are you ready? And there's something in parentheses like this is not a commitment.
Yeah, it's not a commitment. I just
but
need to
need
know
to
you're
know
serious
this.
so I can follow up.
And then on the call, it depends on how many people you can take into your offer. Like for Erico, he wanted 4 people, so he wouldn't even do a payment plan. It doesn't make sense. Like I wanted a little bit more people, so I said, so when I would say it's 25, if somebody would say, okay, can I settle this in 3 payments or more, I would say, okay. And I found out that at the beginning, my thought process of how I wanted to do a payment plan, I was going to do like 6 months or more, but when people asked me, they said, can I pay it in 2 payments or 3 payments? So it was even better than what I had planned for the payment plan. So yeah, I wouldn't talk about it.
Okay. And can you just talk a little bit about it? You use the term price anchoring, so explain what that is.
Oh yeah, I mean, so the price of my event was $10,000, but I want that to actually look like less than, the event is like super expensive. If you were trying to put this on by yourself, you wouldn't be able to do it. So in the copy for the City Open, I said, I listed a couple players that were going to be part of this clinic, and I said, without naming any names, I know that the price for just one of these players is $37,000 for their time of the day. It's not going to be that expensive for you, but it's still going to be an expensive event. And then when you take people to the survey, I modified Andrei's questions a little bit. I said, why do you want to come to this event? What do you want to get out of the experience? So basically what I want them to do is take what they just visualized by walking themselves through the event in my copy and then put it into words. And then obviously when I follow up with them, I know what they're trying to get out of it. The second one is Andrei's question, why should I choose you? So that they're selling me, not the other way around. Then it's contact information, and then it's the price reveal after that.
So the price anchoring is important. I think I'm always going to do that whenever I make any kind of offer, unless it's a real low-priced offer. And that's where you're establishing the value. And it could be, yes, just one of these people is $37,000, but I'm not going to charge you that. Or it could be, when I meet with people, or I coach people, it's normally $1,000 an hour. So to be with me for 3 days would be $24,000, but it's not going to be that. And the thing to remember with price anchoring is it's usually about apples to oranges. You don't ever want to be comparing apples to apples. You're the one controlling this. So you want to, the reality is you might have 10 people there, so it's not like $1,000 an hour each is going to pay you, but that doesn't matter because we're in marketer math. You use marketing math to your favor, and often the anchoring can be. It doesn't even have to be dollars. It could be, if you could just drop a really big number, it's like, I just sold 38,000 books. I never in my life thought I could have sold 38,000 books. And then a couple minutes later, you start talking about the price, and if the price is $2,000, just mentioning a 38,000, that big number, even though it had nothing to do with pricing, that can help anchor. It's sort of a weird trick of human psychology. It's much better to do it the way Will did it, but if you don't have that, you want to drop some kind of big number. I just signed $1 million deal, a consulting contract. There's all kinds of ways to anchor. I mean, the best way is probably the way Will did it. Other ways, I normally charge this per hour, like that. My clients have had $500 million in launches. That's a pretty big price anchor right there.
One quick question at the end. Would you suggest to bring high-profile people in your field to be part of that event?
I mean, for us in the tennis market, it works great. To give a similar example, we have 2 funnels operational right now. One of them is me as the face, and the other one is the Bryan brothers as the face, and the Bryans is outperforming the other one 2-1. So.
But not necessarily. I mean, it's not absolutely.
I think I'm better looking than them, but whatever.
So it's not absolutely necessary. It's always nice. Was that George?
So part of my business, we sell advertising to clients. So we're dealing with people that have multi-million-dollar businesses. They don't always answer my emails, or sometimes my emails when I send them go to different people. So a question for Andrei would be, if we wanted to say I took my sales staff and wanted to do some direct calling, what would you recommend on that if we were to just call them? Because we call them every other month anyway to talk to about advertising.
I would hit them from 4 different angles. I would send an email, a courier package, a phone call, and a fax, and all within 3-day period. And then each one of them would be referring, like the call would say, did you get the fax? Did you get the courier package? Did you look at it? No, let's talk about it on the phone. So B2B, you have to be more persistent than B2C.
Sure.
Someone took our.
There's number 3.
This is for Will. When you said should have done that 25,000, what would you have offered on top of what you already did to make it worth 2.5 times?
They could stay for an extra day.
I actually wasn't really sure on this.
Oh.
I don't really know if I can do this, but it was a total. I mean, it was a total limiting belief. So, oops.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard because the people
I can answer that.
the people at that level just
Want some special attention. So I would say, and then the super VIP after party, we will go to this penthouse and will be just the 3 of us. And we'll talk live, we'll talk, tennis, we'll talk how it all connected together, how to be number 1 and be the best you can be. That's it. That's enough.
As long as it's exclusivity and experience, they'll pay for that.
And even it can be those people, the best of the best, like to hang out with the best of the best. So if you had 3 people that paid the 25,000, those 3 people hanging out, just those 3 people with Will playing doubles for a day. Or like for me, like when you go to the secret headquarters, I've got this big conference table I put in. I can seat like 12, 14 people around it. I'm going to do a Sparta offer for that. And I was just thinking, we also have 3 bedrooms in the HQ. And it's like the $25,000 level is you actually get to stay at the headquarters. Or maybe the $50,000 you get to stay in the master bedroom. With you? With you? No, that's more than 50. It's more than 50.
Yeah, 100,000, you get clean sheets.
Yeah, or I might just make it a first mover, you know, the first 3 people, you know, so. I don't know. Turn to the table behind you.
So I think this is to Andrei. You said that the easiest of those 3 things to sell was personal coaching. Can you say just a little bit more about how a personal coaching offer might be structured in this way?
It's more than a 2-minute answer. I have a 20-minute video that I can share. I have it in great detail, the structure, the delivery, what they pay for, and how to do it so you don't kill yourself.
And
So
actually,
we'll put that in the portal. So we can put it
it's
for
there.
everyone.
Actually, the way he created that video is that he seated on the table on a lunch. The first time he came from Russia, said, "I have 368 products," and we laughed on him. He said, "All right, and can you create one right now?" So in fact, I can. And then he
Yeah, we sit down and create the product.
this is how he explained the Sparta offer, and then he recorded on his recording thing and did a mind map. And